You wake up tired. You always wake up tired. Breakfast is whatever's quick: cereal, a frozen waffle, maybe an energy drink on the way out the door. You don't choose it because you love it. You choose it because it's there, it's cheap, and you don't have the time. That's the first trick of the system. Food is not just food, it's a shackle. Processed meals stuffed with preservatives don't just fill your stomach, they shape your body, shorten your life, and keep you running just long enough to get through another workday. Fresh food costs too much. Healthy eating takes too long. So the poor are sculpted by salt and sugar, while the wealthy are sculpted by gyms and trainers. Health itself becomes another chain. You feel a toothache and ignore it because the dentist costs more than your week's groceries. Anxiety creeps in, but therapy is a luxury good. By the time you see a doctor, it's an emergency, and emergencies are expensive. This is slow violence. Your body becomes the battlefield, and you lose ground every year. Then there's time, or rather the theft of it. You run from job to job, always calculating, what bill can I push off this month? Which late fee hurts least? You don't rest, you don't dream. Life collapses into survival. Time isn't measured in days anymore. It's measured in paychecks. And yet, even inside this grind, there are words they feed you, the mantras that make the cage feel holy. Money doesn't buy happiness. Work hard and you'll make it. Glory waits for you in heaven. Each phrase is a tranquilizer, a script meant to pacify, to convince you that obedience is noble and struggle is destiny. You repeat them to yourself, because if you didn't, you'd have to admit the truth. The game was never built for you to win. Division is another chain. You resent the neighbor who gets government help, the immigrant who works for less, the guy at work who somehow can afford a better phone. You're both poor, but instead of seeing the chains you share, you fight over the scraps. Meanwhile, the table just out of reach is piled high with feasts you'll never taste. Dreams themselves are weaponized. You're told to idolize the exceptions, the rapper who made it out, the athlete who got the contract, the influencer who struck gold. But these are lottery tickets dressed up as destiny. Real power, medicine, law, ownership, inheritance is quietly priced out of reach. They sell you the fantasy of escape while making sure the exits are locked. And the cruelest shackle of all is shame. You start to believe it's your fault, that poverty is a personal failing, not a manufactured condition. You stop asking for help. You stop demanding better. You wear your silence like another set of handcuffs. Step by step, the system binds you. Food, health, time, belief, division, dreams, shame. Not iron chains, but stronger. Because they are invisible. And yet, you felt the weight of them, haven't you? When you choose between rent and groceries, when you skip the doctor, when you swallowed pride in silence. In those moments, you knew, you've always known. This isn't just bad luck. This is the design. They tell us we borrow the world from our children, but that's a lie we tell ourselves to feel noble. The truth is uglier. We don't just borrow the world, we borrow the shackles. We take the chains that bent our backs and we slip them onto theirs. We hand them debt and call it responsibility. We hand them poisoned food and call it convenience. We hand them shame and call it humility. You think you're protecting them, but you're not. You're teaching them how to swallow the same abuse you swallowed. You're teaching them to confuse obedience with survival. You're teaching them to kneel quietly in the same cage you never escaped. The wealthy pass down their wealth in inheritance. The poor pass down their wounds, their silence, their chains. That is the abuse. That is the crime. And one day your children might look back at you and ask, "Why did you give me your chains instead of your courage?" Know this, courage doesn't vanish. It doesn't rot like food or disappear like a paycheck. It waits. It still can be chosen. It only takes one moment, one act of refusal, one choice to say no more, to hand down something different.